Hello everyone! Today I have a very easygoing chair yoga sequence for you. So if you for any reason don't feel like you have the strength to bring yourself to a mat for a yoga sequence, then this is a great sequence for you. For example, if you're a hangover and your body is just very stiff and your head hurts and your stomach is growling, then this is a really good sequence for you. Or if you're recovering from an injury and you haven't built up enough strength to do the mat workout, then this is a great workout for you as well. So we're actually gonna do a whole body stretch with the help of our chairs. So let's get started. So how we're gonna progress this chair sequence is that we're gonna start from our necks and then go down our spine and then to our core and hips and then to our legs and ankles. Super. So let's start from warming up our necks. Super easy. We're just gonna do a couple of head forward and backwards and side to side, and then we're gonna do a couple of head circles for our next sequence. Okay, so sit straight up and breathe in, lift your upper body up, and breathe out, bring your chin down, head forward. You should be feeling a very delicious stretch in the back of your neck. Okay, and then when you breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, tilt your head back, chin up. Super. And breathe in, lower your head, chin down, and breathe out, chin up, lower your head back. Super. One more time. Breathe in, chin down, lower your head, and breathe out, chin up, throw your head back. Super. All right, and breathe in, come back into a neutral position. And then we're gonna do a side to side stretch. Okay, so breathe in, the same uplifting sensation, and breathe out, turn your head to your left. Super, and breathe in, lift up, breathe out, move forward to facing forward. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, turn your head to your right side. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, face forward. Let's do one more time on each side. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, turn your head to your left side, overlooking your shoulder. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, face forward. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, turn to your right side, overlooking your right shoulder. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, face forward. Super. And now we're gonna combine everything into a more fluid motion by going to a couple of head circles in each direction. So let's start from rolling to our right side first. So breathe in, head down, chin down. Breathe out, try to bring your right ear to your right shoulder without shrugging your shoulders. So shoulders relax, try to bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And then breathe out, chin up, head throw back. Breathe in, left ear to left shoulders. Shoulders are relaxed. And breathe out, chin down, head forward. Okay, let's reverse the circle. So breathe in, left ear to left shoulder, shoulders relaxed. Breathe out, chin up, head back. Breathe in, right ear to right shoulder. And breathe out, chin down, head forward. Let's do one more on each side. So breathe in, right ear to right shoulder, relax your shoulders. Breathe out, head back, chin up. Breathe in, left ear to left shoulder. Breathe out, chin down, head forward. Super. So that was a great neck sequence. So now we're gonna warm up our spines and shoulders. Okay, Okay, so to do that, we're gonna do some supported, basically seated spinal twists. So we're gonna start from the right side this time. So breathe in, do the uplifting sensation, and when you breathe out, turn your body to your right side, upper body to your right side, and find your hand positions on your chairs to support your twist. So if you have an arm for an armchair, then you can bring your left hand onto the arm. And if you have a back for your chair, then you can bring your right hand to the back. Okay. So because of the support of the chair, this will enable us to stretch a little bit deeper with the counter force. Okay, so breathe in, lift up. Breathe out. You can think about twisting to your right a little bit more. Okay, let's do it one more time. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out. Twist a little bit more. Super. And we're gonna breathe out to come out. So breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, come back to facing forward. Super. Let's do it on the other side. So breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, twist to your left. Find your hand positions to support you. So your right hand can be on the arm, and then your left hand can be on the back of your chair. If you do not have a back, you can bring your left hand to be behind your hips on the seat of your chair. Okay, so breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, twist a little bit more. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, twist a little bit more. Okay, and then we're gonna come out when we breathe out. So breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, come back to face forward. We're gonna do a seated bound angel position. So bring your feet together on the ground, knees open wide to your sides, and you might want to scoot forward a little bit so you can lean back. So if you do not have a back for your chair, then what you can do is that hopefully your seat is big enough so you can bring your hands to behind your hips, right? And then support yourself to lean back a little. But if you have a back for your chair, then that's perfect. You're just gonna lean back, okay? So the legs are like feet together, knees apart, and then you're gonna keep that formation of your legs when you try to just lean back. Super. Okay, so depending on how tall your back of your chair might be, you might need to support your head or your neck a little bit. So you can create a little cradle with your hands and then bring that to your neck, or you can bring it to behind your head, and that will also be a pretty good shoulder stretch. Okay, and try to make sure that your upper body is straight when you lean back. And it's just a very easy chest and hip opening position with a tiny bit of back bend, okay? All right, so breathe in, expand, breathe out, just relax. And then we're gonna come out of it by coming back into a neutral seated position. That was great. So with that little introduction to a back bend, we can do a little bit more back bends. We can do a variation of a camel pose. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our hands to fists, and we're gonna bring them to our lower backs, right? And also think about opening your shoulders, thinking about bringing your elbows towards each other. Okay, so if you can see this, my arms should be right behind my shoulders, and my hand is positioned on my lower back like this. And my shoulders are really open. Super. So bring your hands to your lower back, palms facing each other in fists. And then you're gonna try to, of course, open your shoulders, but then start to look up and even throw your head back to feel that tiny back bend. Okay, let's be here for 2 breaths. Breathe in, and breathe out, and breathe in, and breathe out. So if you want to back bend a little bit more, what you can do is that instead of putting your hands on your lower back, you can bring them to be behind your back. Ideally, your hands should be stacked right underneath your shoulders, and then you can look back. So that's gonna be a slightly more intense back bend. Okay, but if you feel like the camel pose was enough, just stay there, and that will be it for your back bend. Okay, and from here we're gonna move on a little bit to our legs first. So building a little bit strength in our legs with a tiny back bend. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna straighten your legs and point them forward. So your feet are pointing forward on the ground. All right, so if your hands were already behind your back, that's perfect already, but try to make sure that your hands are stacked right underneath your shoulders. This is gonna strengthen our shoulders a little bit and will be a tiny back bend with a little bit of core and legs engagement, okay? So this is gonna be an upward plank, supported upward plank. So all you need to do after setting up yourself in those positions is to lift your hips up, and your gaze is gonna be brought to be looking up towards the skies. So let's be here for just one more breath. Breathe in, breathe out. You can come back into a comfortable seated position. Super. Okay, what we can do now is we can keep our legs straight forward first, and then we're gonna try to fold forward. Okay, if you have been feeling some digestion problems, this is a really good pose to calm your stomachs and gut a little bit. Okay, so make sure that you found a great seating position, so when you fold forward, you don't slide down, okay? So you have enough space to fold forward, but you're also well supported on the chair. I would say you're kind of sitting towards the front parts of your chair, but not at the edge of your chair, okay? All right, so your arms can be by your sides or supporting you on the sides of the chair or on your arms, okay? And then you're just gonna fold forward with your legs straight. Okay, so try to think about bringing your chest closer to your legs. Okay, so the good thing about a seated forward fold in a chair position is that your legs can be very, very straight because there's basically no flexibility. So this is really gonna help you feel that stretch in your calves and your shins. Okay, so breathe in, think about that uplifting sensation again. And breathe out, try to fold forward a little bit more. Let's do this 2 more times. Breathe in, think about lifting up, and breathe out, think about bringing your chest to your legs. One last time, breathing in, lift up, breathe out, try to fold forward a little bit more. Super. And then we can come out into a comfortable seated position. Great. And from here, we're gonna get ready for warrior poses. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna turn to one side of your chair. So for me, it's gonna be the left side of my chair first. And your legs should be bent at 90 degrees angles. So this is not only just for yoga, but it's also great for any chairs that you have. Ideally, when your feet are touching the ground, your legs are in a natural 90-degree angle. It's very ergonomic. Okay, great seating posture. Okay, and then from here, you're gonna step your right leg back. So your toes are pointing downwards towards the ground, but your right leg is straightened as much as you can. All right, and try to make sure that your hips are leveled. This is easier because you're seated, so you're kind of supported, but try to remember that your hips should be at the same level and they should both be pointing forward equally. Okay, and despite that you're sitting in a chair, this will really engage both your legs. So it's almost like you are doing a high lunge without the chair. Okay, so a lot of benefits are reaped even though we're just sitting on our chairs. Okay, so check your left leg. It should be at a 90-degree angle, and hopefully your left heels are stacked right underneath your left knees. Hips are leveled, and right leg straight in the back. If you feel like you're ready, you can bring your arms through your sides to be beside your ears, fingertips pointing towards the sky. Okay, so this is chair high lunge position, and it's really good for opening your right hip. Great, and from here, we're gonna go through a warrior one position into a warrior two. So the difference to get into a warrior one is really to lower your right foot on the ground by rotating your right foot into about a 45-degree angle. So this is pretty much a warrior one stance, but it's really hard to keep your hips leveled when you're in a seated chair position. So we're just gonna quickly, from a warrior one, transition into a warrior two position by twisting your upper body to be facing me. And arms can open to your sides, parallel to the ground. Okay, so this is a warrior two position. We're gonna be here for 2 breaths. So breathe in, think about that lifting sensation again, and breathe out, expand your chest, open your arms a little bit more. Okay, last one, breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, expand your arms. Okay, and then to come out of it, we're just gonna try to, with some support from our legs, to go back to both legs bent on one side of your chair. Super, and from here, we're gonna transition into the sequence on the other side. So go to your right side. Your right leg is bent at a 90-degree angle when you bring your left leg back to be straight. All right, so toes are pointing towards the ground on the floor right now. Okay. All right, and make sure that your hips are leveled again. Feel that stretching sensation on your left hip. Super. And once you feel like you're ready, you can bring your arms through your sides to be beside your ears, fingertips pointing towards the sky. Okay, let's be here for 2 breaths. Shoulders are relaxed, okay? Breathe in, think about lifting everything up, and breathe out, maybe sink a little bit deeper. Breathe in, think about uplifting. Breathe out, think about lifting a little bit deeper. And once again, we're gonna transition through a warrior one to a warrior two. So first, by bringing your left foot down, pointing towards that 45-degree angle. And then we're gonna turn our upper bodies to be facing me. And your hands are open to the sides, parallel to the ground. Okay, and this time you can bring your gaze to your right fingertips. Then we're gonna do 2 breaths here. So breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, expand a little bit more through your arms. Breathe in, lift up. Then breathe out, expand through your arms a little bit more. Super. And then with the help of your hands, you can come back to one side of your chair and then move back to be facing forward again. All right. And from here, we're gonna do a little bit more leg straightening. So to do that, it's really easy. You might just want to support yourself with your hands on the arms of your chair or the sides of your chair, because all we're gonna do is to lift one leg up, straight up to be parallel to the ground. And then that can be a lot of core and leg engagement. So if that's quite challenging, hold on to your chairs. Okay, so when we breathe in, we're bringing our right legs up to be parallel to the ground. Your feet can be pointed or flexed because we're just gonna do a couple of ankle rolls regardless. Okay, but when you breathe in, flex your foot. Breathe out, point your foot. Breathe in, flex your foot. Breathe out, point your foot. Super. And one last time, breathe in, flex your foot. Breathe out, point your foot. And then lower everything onto the ground. You can shake it out a little bit. Okay, super. And the whole time, make sure that your upper body is still in that uplifting sensation. So sit upright. All right, and then let's move on to the other side. So with one breath in, lift your left leg up to be parallel to the ground. Straighten your left leg. All right, let's do a couple of ankle rolls again. So breathe in, flex your foot. Breathe out, point your foot. Breathe in, flex your foot. Breathe out, point your foot. Last one, breathe in, flex your foot. And breathe out, point your foot, and then lower everything down. Maybe shake your legs a little bit to shake out any tension that you might have had. Okay, and this part is optional and it requires a strap. But if you do not have a strap, you can also improvise with a really long towel or a big jacket or anything that can create a little loop and has a really long kind of strap-like structure, so you can hold on to the rest of the strap. Okay. So what we're gonna do is that we're still gonna lift our legs, but this time we're gonna open our legs and then bring them back to open up our hips a little bit. Okay, so first you can create a little loop with your strap and then put your right foot through the little loop. Make sure that is tight, okay? And then both hands are holding on to the back ends of your strap. So give it enough space first, so maybe make it kind of loose at the beginning, just to figure out how much strap you need, what's the length should be when you lift your leg. Okay, so when I lift my leg, I know that this is how much I should be holding on to. Okay, so I hold on to the back end of the strap, but my foot is flexed. That also makes it easier for me to hold on to my strap. Okay, super, so basically the same position as before, leg up parallel to the ground, and then this time with the support of the strap, I can open my leg up to the side. Okay, and one thing to really notice is that you should make sure that your upper body is upright. Sometimes when it's really hard to open up, maybe you'll try to lean to the other side to gain some more force, but do not do that. Make sure that you're sitting upright, back straight when you open your legs. So left foot is supporting you on the ground, left leg at a 90-degree angle. Okay, so let's be here for one more breath. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, try to open it a little bit more. Okay, and then let's do it one more time. Breathe in, lift up, breathe out, try to open your leg a little bit more. Okay, and then when we breathe in, we can bring your right leg forward and then lower it onto the ground. Super. Then you can switch into your left foot in the little loop. Okay, and both hands are on the strap. All right, and then you're gonna lift your left leg again. This time flex your left foot. All right, and then find the optimal positions for your hands. And then you know the drill now. Sit up straight and then open your leg, your left leg to the side when you breathe out. Okay, let's be here for 2 breaths. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, open a little bit more. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, open a little bit more. And then when we breathe in, we bring our left legs forward and then we can get out of our straps. Okay, perfect. All right, so bring your straps to your side. We don't need it anymore for this chair sequence, but we're gonna open our hips a little bit now. So this is a variation of a pigeon pose, but it's also called a figure 4 in a lot of fitness studios. And I think part of the reason if you're looking at me in this direction is that your legs do form kind of like a number 4. Okay, so to do this stretch, we're gonna bring our right legs to a bend. Your right foot should be on top of your left knee, and your left knee should be stacked on top of your left heel. All right, so make sure that your hips are leveled, and we're gonna stretch our hips a little bit by first gently, very gently, pushing down our right knees with our right hands. Okay, your left foot should be flexed. Your right foot should be flexed. All right, So very gently push down your right knee. If you feel like you can deepen your stretch a little bit more, you can fold your upper body forward. So we're gonna be here for 3 breaths. So deepen if you feel like you can accept a little bit more step by step. Okay, so breathe in, think about that uplifting sensation again, and breathe out, fold forward if you can. All right, and breathe in, think about lifting up, breathe out, fold forward a little bit more, thinking about bringing your chest to your legs. One last breath, breathe in, thinking about lifting up, and breathe out, fold forward a little bit more. Okay, super. And then when you come out, you can bring your right leg to your chest a little bit to give it a really gentle hug. All right, let's switch to the other side. So bend your left leg, bring your left foot on top of your right knee, and you can push your left leg down very gently with your left hand. And then if you want to deepen your stretch a little bit more, you can fold your upper body forward, and we're going to be here for 3 breaths. So breathe in, lift up, breathe out, maybe fold forward, breathe in, lift up, breathe out, fold forward, thinking about bringing your chest to your legs. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, fold forward. Super. And then we can come out, hug your left leg to your chest a little bit, and then release everything. Okay, so from here, we can do a child's pose variation. Okay, so you can bring your feet to be parallel to each other, about hip width apart. Okay, this is actually really easy to check because they're seated, so you can really just like check along the sides of your hips to make sure that your feet are about hip width apart. And then you can try to fold forward, kind of thinking about being in a child's position. Okay, a couple of variations. If you want some support, you can wrap your arms around your thighs, like what I'm doing right now for support. You can also think about the wet-legged seated child's pose. You can bring your feet together again, knees wide apart, and then fold forward. Okay, so let's be here for one more breath. Breathe in, and breathe out, and then breathe in, and breathe out. Okay, we can come back into a neutral seated position now. Okay, and our last seated positions are going to be seated cat and cows, and after that we have some standing positions with the support of our chairs if you want to engage in that. Okay, so the last seated sequence would be some seated cat and cows. So it's kind of similar to where we started, which is the head forward and backwards, but this time we're going to engage our spine. So how are we going to do that is that when we breathe in, we bring our heads down, and then we round our backs as well. Okay, so breathe in, head down, round your back. When we breathe out, bring your chin up, head back, but this time arch your back. All right, breathe in, round your back, chin down, head down. Breathe out, chin up, head back, arch your back. One more time, breathe in, chin down, round your back, head down, and then breathe out, chin up, head back, and arch your back. Super. And then you can come back into a neutral position. So this is optional. If you do not feel like you want to stand up at all today for this practice, then just skip this part. Otherwise, what you can do is that you can bring some cushions, because we're gonna use the chair to fold forward, and maybe you want some cushions so you have some soft places to land your head. Okay, so we're just gonna fold forward and bring our arms to be on the chair somehow, maybe on the cushions. Okay, and then legs should be wide apart on the ground. straighten if you can. Okay, and then we're just gonna try to bring our foreheads onto the cushion. Okay. And you might need to change your feet positions a little bit, but make sure that you're in a comfortable position. Ideally, your upper body is perpendicular to your legs. All right, let's be here for 2 breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. And then breathe in and breathe out. Super. And now we can engage in a tiny back bend, which is an upward facing dog position. In the chair with the support of a chair, what you can do is that you can come into kind of like a semi-plank position with your hands on the chair. Ideally, it should be on some very strong arms. Make sure that they're firm and parallel to the ground. And then your legs are back, straightened ideally, and be pretty light on your heels. So you can flex and point pretty easily. Then upward facing dog's variation is basically you use your arm to support your shoulders, and then you try to come into a tiny back bend. And if you can, the back of your feet should be on the ground. But if that is too difficult for you, keep your feet on the ground normally. Then push your hip forward, engage in a tiny back bend. And that's an upward facing dog variation with the support of your chair. And then we can come out again, come back into that forward fold position again, just to counter-react to back bend a little bit. And we're gonna end the practice here. So bring your forehead to your cushions, be comfortable, and then we're just gonna do 2 breaths to seal the practice. So breathe in, and breathe out, relax, and breathe in, and breathe out to relax. And you can come back into a comfortable seated position again. You've been doing great, and thank you so much for joining me in this low impact chair yoga sequence. And I hope that this is a great start for you to build your strength back, and I will see you on the mat sometime soon. Bye!